disturbing events in July last year in Krugersdorp. A group of women shooting a music video were robbed and gang raped. At the time, it was believed illegal miners were behind the crime. Police swooped in and calm was restored to the area, but they've since disappeared. Specialized units have been deployed to Riverlea after an armed turf war between rival Zama groups. But will they also leave residents to fend for themselves? eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is finding out more from how this community is coping a year on, and he joins us live from there now. Manqoba, when we spoke earlier, you spoke to a community activist that really captured the attention of the country as it came to grips just over those hours of this horrific crime that took place in Krugersdorp. And as she said to you at the time, nothing's changed. The police have disappeared, the cameras disappeared, and life has gone back to its gruesome normal for them.
Well, certainly, Marcel, and this is a sad story of West Village as residents continue to bear the brunt of illegal mining. And earlier on, I think you saw for yourself, Marcel, that picture of zamas just roaming the streets here freely in this community. And of course the community saying that they've seen a surge as far as the number of illegal miners in this community. Recall that last year the police minister Ilegal was here, and there were also deployments here in this area that had promised to earn this gouge and to make this place much more safer than it was at the time. And of course we also saw those violent protests here in the West Rand as residents targeted some of the houses and some of the structures that belonged to illegal miners. But what residents are saying now is that since the police were here, they're now seeing the zamas back in this community. And of course they're quite concerned also with what's happening in Riverlea, because they're saying that some of those zamas that in Riverlea, they've seen such faces here in this community as well. But I want to get a sense from one of the residents just here. We spoke to you last year, Andre Shannon, about a crime that had happened here. In fact, there was an explosion just here next to you because of illegal mining. How do you view things now? How is the situation now? Are you feeling as if it's getting better or it's getting worse?
Sir, this is now a year later. Exactly a year later. After the minister came in here with the special forces, it went well for about 3 months. Then we started seeing the zamas coming back without their blankets. And currently there's much more zamas than there's been. And they're back with their blankets. They're just using other streets to walk, etc., so that the people don't really see them where they are. But the situation is getting worse on a daily basis here with us. Yes, dilapidated buildings, which the owners must get to be responsible for. Because what's happening, you will see opposite the R28, the community is getting so frustrated because the zamas is staying in these buildings that eventually they break down the buildings and they're selling the bricks brick by brick. So this is an issue that is not a safety issue. It is a major safety issue for us here in West Village. That's true. But it's also becoming a social issue, insofar as buildings that could be restored, and we know in South Africa there's a big housing problem. But these buildings is going to get destroyed, and nobody's taking responsibility. The minister last year promised us it's going to be safe. What happened? The moment the police pulled out, everything fell back. Now we're worse off than we've been last year, and we just don't know where this is going to end. And every day you can think for yourself how it feels that you have to organize your things so that you know you're at home in daylight. you know, if one of your family members is outside of your yard in the dark, you nervous the whole time.
How's the crime situation, though? We know that there have been incidents of rape that were reported previously, which led to the protests that we saw here, robberies where people were shot. How is the crime situation now?
The crime situation, especially petty crime, is picking up, and you can expect this with the zamas coming into other zamas areas now again. So I'm expecting that we are going to have zamas fighting for territory within a short while. We've heard on far away from our area that there's from time to time shots been fired in the areas where the zamas is working, but according to me, this is just the beginning. It's with all these people coming in from back into the community, this is going to create an issue shortly.
What would you want to see then happen in this community as far as policing is concerned? Because the police are quite adamant that they have the situation under control here in West Village.
So we're sitting here with petty crime every day. Small things is being stolen every day. The community knows it and it's been reported. But the issue is that the police is not visible. The moment you get visible policing, then the issue will be fixed. That is why Tom Miller Road at this stage, there is hardly any zamas walking. This road behind me, called B Road, this is being used now as a road. It runs parallel to Tom Miller as a road where the zamas is walking. And down by Zero, you must see 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night when the zamas is coming out to come and buy food at the spaza shop. They're standing in queues. But if there's visible policing, sorry for that, with visible policing, people won't come out.
Do you feel let down?
We need lack of visible policing.
All right, let's hold it there for now. Thank you very much, Andre. That was one of the residents here, just raising concerns as far as what is happening in this community. He says, of course, that they are seeing quite a number of illegal miners here in this community, and you speak to residents here, they tell you that they now fear again that there might be more crime in the area. In fact, we're told that there's been quite a number of incidents, including an incident of kidnapping that has happened in recent weeks in this community. And so there is certainly a sense of fear among community members who are again back to square one as far as the issue of illegal mining is concerned here. So it's not only residents of Riverlea, there are many other communities that are affected, and they say every time there's a surge or an incident in other areas, they also bear the brunt and they feel the impact of what is happening in those communities, as it seems some of those zamas then move to some of these areas, and they're saying this is certainly what is happening here in West Village.